All right, we're live. Hey everyone, my name's Kevin Bailey. I'm the captain for Grand Valley State and also the chief of content for the NCDA. And we're bringing you a Nationals preview show right now. I'm joined by some captains from a couple different teams throughout the league. You guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Wes Peters. Oh, go ahead, Josh.
Go ahead, Wes. All right, I'm Josh Connor from Ohio State.
I'm Wes Peters, assistant captain, Michigan State.
Go up for it, Matt.
I'm Matt Bouch. I'm a captain at UW-Platteville.
And I'm Eric, the president at UW-Platteville.
I'm Jacob Leski from CMU.
All right, cool. We're going to be going over a couple things for Nationals today. We're going to be talking about, first off, the schedule on Saturday, all those scheduled games, and then after that we're just going to go over maybe some predictions for what might happen on Sunday, see what everyone thinks their Final Four is going to be, stuff like that. So a lot of interesting predictions and analysis are going to happen. So let's just kick it right off. Let's talk about the All-Star Game first. Sponsored by Savage. They're hooking us up with some sweet uniforms. Anyone have any thoughts on the All-Star Game, though?
I think it'll be more competitive than it's been in a long time, because usually there's like 30 people on each team.
Yeah.
So this might actually be entertaining and actually more than 1 point scored.
No doubt. It'll be better with 15 on 15 for sure.
Absolutely.
Plus, I think being an all-star should be a more like special thing. So having it being a more select group, only 30 people in the whole country instead of like 60 or whatever it was before.
I agree.
I think that's good as well.
I like having the talent spread out on both teams.
Yeah, definitely. I like the way that they did it with the draft.
Yeah.
I know that the
Michigan
Michigan versus
Michigan versus the world.
yeah.
Again,
Definitely.
it spreads that talent out, allows guys from different parts of the country to kind of play against each other. So.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, the jerseys are disgusting. Those are awesome.
Yeah, they'll look pretty cool, I think. I'm excited. Anything else on the All-Star Game, or do you guys want to jump right into the first round of matches at Nationals?
Jump right in.
Let's do it.
Sounds good. All right, so in the first round at Nationals, which will be held at Bowling Green State University, we got Central Michigan against Towson, Saginaw Valley State against Western Kentucky, Michigan State against Penn State, and then James Madison against DePaul. So, do any of those games stick out to you guys?
I guess the Saginaw game versus Kentucky, Western Kentucky. I just feel like that's probably a good matchup, considering this Western Kentucky kind of second year from last year. They were building up their team, and I think they're probably going to be a good spot to give them a good game this year, probably.
Sure.
I'd like to see a good game between them. Saginaw, a lot of people think they have a very easy schedule, so I'd like to see them get challenged.
Yeah, you're right. Saginaw, maybe like of all the top 6 teams, they're the only one that might not have like a game that is really losable, I guess. That makes sense. The other teams in the top 6 all have, at least one game against a team that's at their level, pretty much.
I don't know. I'm kind of interested for the MSU PSU game.
Same.
It's sort of it's good optics, I think, for our league, just because you got 2 Big Ten teams. I mean, it's something you can kind of come home and talk about. We played another Big Ten team, and I don't know a whole lot about Penn State. I'd like to see an upset. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but it should be a good, interesting game to see.
What I think is interesting about them is no one really knows anything about them. Is exactly that. Last year they made some noise.
Right.
Like, 3 games in September, and now it's April, and now they're going to play again, so who knows what's going to happen.
Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about them?
About Penn State?
Hey, man, you played them last year.
That's true, I did. They had a couple of guys that were pretty talented, but, they just didn't have the depth. But this year, I think they started the year, they won who did they beat? They beat VCU, they beat They beat Towson? I don't think they beat Towson.
They beat Kent.
Maryland.
Oh, yeah. Well, either way, they haven't played much. I don't know if they played at all second semester, so
Yeah.
we'll see if they come out flat or not.
Yeah, it'll be exciting for us to play a new team. I've never gotten the chance to play them either, so
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Any thoughts on Central Michigan against Towson?
Towson's gonna win.
I think it'll be a fun game. Yeah, I think it'll be a fun game to watch.
You think any overtimes for the first round at all?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
Yeah, I think the top team is going to win each of those games in regulation.
Here, I've got the Penn State scores for the tournament they played in the fall. If you want those still.
Yeah, go ahead, list them off. Sure.
They beat Kent 5-0. I don't
Okay.
know what kind of roster Kent had, because that's a far way to travel. But
Yeah.
they beat VCU 5-0, and then they lost to JMU 5-2.
Okay. Wow. Well, yeah, I think they're going to be like one of the most like mysterious teams for everyone. No one really knows much about them, so it's kind of a wild card. But
Yeah.
I still think Michigan State will win that game. Not too worried about that.
No.
All right, let's move on to the second round, though. Second round of games, Ohio State plays Wisconsin-Platteville. Bowling Green State plays VCU. Kentucky plays Baldwin-Wallace, and Grand Valley plays Ohio.
I think we can all agree that OSU. I personally think OSU versus CWP will be a very interesting game. That's just me.
Yeah, have you guys played each other this season? I don't think that you have, right?
Yeah.
Played Wisconsin Platteville in my time here, in my 4 years here, so
Well,
I'm really looking forward to this. A lot of the team actually, Eric wanted to play you guys, so we're really excited for this one.
That's good to hear. Hopefully,
Yeah.
give it a good game.
Definitely. Actually, if you could, what were some of the games you guys have played this year, tournament-wise? I know you went out to DePaul.
We played at Central Michigan and at Grand Valley. We played so far our games have been CMU, Grand Valley, and Saginaw Valley, and then we played Nebraska and DePaul so far. So
Yeah,
played some tough teams, though, definitely.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, that'll be a good one.
Oh, yeah. I think Bowling Green against VCU might be an overtime game.
Oh yeah.
I think that one might be exciting to watch. But then I think Kentucky's going to win handily against Baldwin-Wallace. But, Jake, you know more about Baldwin-Wallace probably. Were you at that tournament?
I was not.
Oh.
But
How did your team think they did?
my team is very impressed with how their organization
Okay.
has increased. How much of it they play as a team now. I mean, and for such a young program, it's very impressive. I hear. So they just need to build their skills.
All right.
They're just super young. It's kind of like what UWP's going through, but you guys obviously have much more experience and more skilled players.
skilled player right here.
Any other comments on that round?
No, I say we move on.
All right, cool. Third round of games. This one's got some interesting games. Central Michigan plays James Madison. Akron plays.
Front row seat to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. Akron plays Western Kentucky. Penn State plays DePaul. And then Saginaw Valley State plays Kent State. So right off the bat, I think Central against James Madison sticks out as a really good game. Let's talk about that one first.
First of all, that was a Final Four game, if I remember correctly, from last year. And, man, that game, I watched the footage of that. It could have gone either way. It was so close. I think they even went to OT.
We did.
Wes, Lord Lesky, you could correct me on that. If I'm wrong, but that was two sort of traditional powers in our league, just kind of slugging it out. And I don't know, have you guys played each other since, or?
No.
Okay, yeah. So
I think they want revenge is what I think they want.
I think so too. Yeah, that's going to be a great game. I'm glad we're not playing during that queue because we're going to all be watching that one. So
Same.
As I'm sure most of the league will be. It's gonna
yeah,
be a great game.
pressure's on, Lesky.
I'm excited to commentate
I'm
it.
excited for it. It'll be a great game. I mean, I'm not too worried about it, but I know Jamie's very confident. So
Yeah. You haven't seen JMU yet this year, have you? Then
not at all. Not even in another tournament.
Wes and I both have, and I know that they didn't have their full roster at that tournament, but yeah, they're missing a lot of guys from last year. Clearly, like a lot of their talented guys from last year, but they still have that top level talent to be, possibly a Final Four team, maybe even make the finals. So I'm really excited to see that game. I think Central Michigan will win still. I think the difference will be that Central Michigan is just battle tested, playing against so many tough teams all season, while James Madison hasn't played as many games, nor have they played as many tough teams. They finally played, Grand Valley and Michigan State at that East Coast tournament a couple weeks ago, but other than that, they've only played East Coast teams the entire year.
I think the deciding factor will be the depth. I mean, that's what a lot of Kevin. You give us top scores, our depth.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Our 1 through 15 is strong. So
No doubt your 10 through 15 and your starting lineup is better than their 10th through 15th. Unless they're missing like a bunch of guys from their roster when I actually saw them. But from what I can go off of, I'd say Central Michigan has much more depth.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Do we know if Ben Sizemore graduated from JMU?
he didn't
Sizemore.
graduate, but he won't be there.
Yeah, I don't think he's on the roster anymore.
Yeah.
They still have Derek Pierce. He's their new captain. You guys probably remember him.
Good guy.
Yeah, I was really impressed with how he led his team last tournament. They were like down. They lost to Towson, and then they were down to us 2-0. And he somehow got them to come back and almost tie the game against us. And then obviously the game against Michigan State was back and forth, and they ended up winning that one. But yeah, I think if they play organized, they're a dangerous team for sure. I think Wes will agree with that.
Yeah, also, don't throw at Doug Schilling alone.
Yeah, Schilling was incredible in overtime against Michigan State, and then just one of the top arms in the league, too, I'd say. And a great catcher, obviously. He caught basically every team throw we threw at him. He caught one of the balls and dodged the other one, so.
Kid's got skills.
Yeah.
But so does Central's entire team, so it'll be a good game. Any of the other games stick out to you guys? We have Akron against WKU.
Yeah.
I think that one will be good. I think WKU will win, but Akron's improving a lot.
I think Akron could surprise them.
Yeah, Akron's improved a lot, and from the one time I saw them early in this semester, I was impressed with their top few guys have some talent for sure. They just got to play more organized, and I think they'll be fine.
They played a lot of games this year, haven't they?
Ohio's the team that played. They played 25 games.
Okay.
But Akron has also played a lot of different tournaments, so props to them for that.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also the other two games are also going to be close, I bet. Penn State against DePaul and Saginaw against Kent, which I think might sneak up and be like an overtime game.
We never know with Kent. We never know.
Yeah, they could be great. They could be terrible. It all just depends on which Kent State shows up.
It's very annoying.
Probably can say that about DePaul too. When they come to play up, they play really well. So.
I don't think DePaul will be a close game. I think Penn State. We don't know much, but I think Penn State will blow them out of the water. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, they have Nico, but that's it.
Yeah, I would have to agree on that.
That's it.
Josh, you've probably seen Kent a couple times this year. How do you think they'll do against Saginaw?
Kent's a good team this year when they bring a full roster. Thing is, I haven't seen Saginaw at all this year. I've watched a couple videos of them, but not enough to say anything one way or the other. If I had to give an answer today, gosh, Saginaw 2-1 after overtime.
Really?
I wouldn't say that close. Saginaw's on fire.
Yeah, I think Saginaw's probably going to win in regulation, but if Kent State does well, I mean, they can compete with a team like Saginaw. They've
They're good
got
at the Dodgeball Cup, the Michigan Cup here, Saginaw, so
Yeah.
from watching the games and stuff.
Saginaw, unfortunately, won't have Cody Putnam. He broke his arm, or he did something to his arm, his throwing arm. So.
Elbow.
What? His elbow, yeah.
Yeah, he broke his elbow.
And he hurt it actually during MDC, I think, and he played through it until a week or so later, and then he went in and got it checked out, found out something was broken. So they'll be without him, but still, Saginaw's they play really smart, and when they get momentum, I mean, all of the Michigan teams can attest to that. When they get momentum, they're extremely dangerous.
Watch
Same
out.
thing about him, though. I mean, you could say the same thing about that team.
That's true.
So it'll be good.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the fourth round. In the fourth round of games, Grand Valley State plays Ohio State. Towson plays Bowling Green. I think that's a rematch from last year, day one of nationals. Wisconsin Platteville plays Baldwin Wallace, and then Michigan State plays Ohio. So let's start out. Michigan State against Ohio. I think that one's going to be a blowout. Michigan State clearly more experienced and more talented, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Ohio plays. Anyone have comments on that game?
No.
All right. What's
Grand
up, Jay?
Valley versus, you say Grand Valley versus Ohio State?
No, I was going from the bottom this time.
Oh,
MSU against Ohio.
I should have been listening. Sorry.
You should have. What about UWP against Baldwin Wallace? What do you guys have to say about your own team in that one?
I think it'd be interesting. From the way it sounds, they're a fun team, so it should be a fun game for us. Gotta give credit is Thomas, right? Their captain of their team.
Yeah.
He came to the Nationals last year. We talked to him a little bit, and he seemed like a great guy. And it's nice to see that he's able to build a team up this year to bring to Nationals. So.
I think it depends. I think it depends how we play, because there's sometimes where we play I know a couple of matches we played as a team, we played fairly well, but then there's some matches if you look at our freshmen, some of them they just look kind of scared and they weren't into it. I know if our older guys lose, we get pretty pissed and it kind of fuels us, but sometimes the freshmen it doesn't fuel them as much as it should. But I guess it kind of depends who comes and plays.
Sure.
I can attest to that. UWP gave us a couple good points when they played us at Central, and it was a little frustrating. They kept up with us for, I'd say, at least the first half was only 2-0. Close
Yeah.
game. I was very impressed.
I think each point at least lasted at least 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
It was a good game.
able to
Yeah.
catch that game. So
And plus, with a young team like what you guys have, your potential to improve is so much more since you guys had very little experience to start the year. So I think that the amount that you guys have improved might be more than some of the more experienced teams. So I mean, but that goes with Baldwin Wallace as well, since this is their first full year as a squad. All right, Towson Bowling Green. Anyone have comments on that one? I think Towson will win, but I'm interested to see how good Bowling Green is this year. I haven't seen them yet, since early in the fall.
Game, actually, you get Bowling Green, that kind of home field advantage, but I mean you got Towson as well, who's a probably underrated team. It's fair to say. That's a good game. I think Towson's going to win it, but that's good.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think Bowling Green will definitely have obviously the best roster they've had all year, because I know they've struggled to bring 15 or more to a lot of tournaments. So
Yeah.
full strength, they should probably give Towson a good game.
are they returning most of their squad from last year? Do you guys know?
It's been really hard to say. I mean, they bring 10 different people to every tournament. You never really know.
Yeah.
Kind of like Grand Valley.
You just don't recognize them because they're all new. Maybe they just got a haircut and you think it's a new guy. Who knows?
Probably.
All right, let's go on to the last game in that round. Grand Valley against Ohio State. We haven't talked about that one yet. Josh, let's start with you.
Well, I would love to hand Grand Valley their first loss on a Saturday at National. And this game actually was supposed to happen. Well, I would say I wanted it to happen a couple months ago. Our schedules kind of didn't line up,
Yeah.
But we've been looking forward to playing Grand Valley, gosh, all year. Hasn't happened yet, since probably sometime last year. To be completely honest, I think it's going to be a close game. I have no doubt in my mind that Ohio State's going to win, but it's going to be close. You got two fast teams, two teams, a lot of power throwers, smart players, know how to watch their crosses, watch the angles. It's going to be a showdown. Be there, watch it, watch Grand Valley lose. That's all I got to say.
Be nice to see that.
It would be nice. I wouldn't mind seeing that either.
I disagree.
Kevin, let's hear
I think
from
we're all in favor of that. So.
Well, yeah, we requested this game because we really wanted to get some experience against you guys, being the only top-level team that we haven't played yet this year. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see you guys. I've only heard good things about Ohio State this season. You guys are like 17-1 or something like that, 13-1. 15-1.
Yep.
Yeah, and your only loss was like a heartbreaker in the second half to Michigan State.
Post game against MSU.
Yeah.
Wes remembers that. He remembers how lucky their team got.
Well, you guys just don't seem to.
What's that?
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I think it'll be
Yeah, it was a good game. Can't wait for Grand Valley though.
definitely. I think the rest of the league will be watching that one just as they will for the Central Michigan JMU game. I think that's going to be one of the premier matches on Saturday of Nationals, and maybe a preview of Sunday. We'll see.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to well, did anyone else have anything to say about that game? I'll take that as a no. All right.
Good.
We'll move on. Fifth round of games. Kent State plays Western Kentucky. DePaul plays Ohio State. Akron plays Virginia Commonwealth. Central Michigan plays Kentucky. So let's start with Kent against WKU. I think that game will actually be decently close. What do you guys think?
I've been talking to Nick. I think he said they're 1-1 in the series against each other. So I think it should be a decently matched game for them. Both, I think, play really similar styles, from what I've heard. So.
Rubber match.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Nick Johnson was pretty confident. He wants their team to go 3-0 on day one, which is a tall order, but we'll see.
Very unrealistic. But yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a good game, them against Kent, though. DePaul against Ohio. Anyone have something to say about that one?
I mean,
I think it's a great
could be
game.
a good game.
Sparks are flying, but it's a evenly matched game, I should say.
Sure.
I'd agree with that.
All right, speaking of evenly matched games, the next one is Akron against VCU. I think that one will be pretty close, too. Maybe an overtime game. I really hope that it does go to overtime. That'd be exciting to watch, even though they're not two of the top teams in the league.
It would be exciting to see, actually. Overtime is always a good time, no matter who it is.
Yeah, and I think it happens more often with the top-level teams, but I'd really like to see some of those lower teams get an overtime game. It's really exciting.
Last year for us it was pretty exciting against Bowling Green there. So we came back down 2-0 to tie 'em up to go over.
Man, I got to commentate that. That was a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. We knew if we get them to overtime, we could take them. So.
And then the last one, Central Michigan against Kentucky. Jake, what do you have to say about that one?
I look forward to it. I enjoy playing Kentucky. I'm not worried about losing it, but they're always fun to play. They always have a few good players that'll surprise you, and obviously they have Drew Greenewalt, who I don't really want to throw to. So that's a big factor, and I enjoy playing them. They're a fun team.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kentucky will keep it closer with some teams than what we might expect. They're a more talented team than people give them credit for. So
I would agree.
That's not an easy draw for you guys at all. I think it's another tough game that you'll have to play on Saturday.
Yeah, we can't take them light. Like we can't just put all our backups in at all. Yeah.
No
Seems
doubt.
like over the years we've always played really well as a team. So they always give you a good game. It looks like so.
Yep. Last year at this time, they played us on Saturday, and I think it was tied at halftime. They're another team that when they get momentum, they're pretty dangerous, just like I said about Saginaw. So, they're a dangerous team if they can get a couple catches, maybe swing a point in their way. So, still think Central will win that. But 6 round of games, second to last round on Saturday. This one's got a couple good games too. James Madison plays Michigan State. Saginaw Valley plays Bowling Green. Towson plays Kentucky, and Penn State plays Baldwin-Wallace. So, Wes, let's start with you. JMU against MSU rematch from the tournament at Towson a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it should be a good matchup again. We'll have our full roster. They'll probably have their full roster, I would imagine, for however many people they were missing.
No excuses either way.
Exactly. So it might very well go to overtime again, for all I know. But yeah,
I'd love to see that.
should be exciting. Hopefully, Doug Schilling comes back down to earth this weekend.
Just don't toss it right to his chest. Too
Dude, we're
soon.
throwing at his face and he was catching them. So
Yeah, I think that'll be a really good game, and I'd say that along with the Grand Valley Ohio State and the Central JMU, those are the 3 premier games for
Yep.
day one. So I think
I would
any
agree.
team that's sitting out, do yourselves a favor and watch that one.
That's right.
yeah, especially younger teams, you'll definitely learn a lot of strategy and things to do.
For sure. Anyone else have comments on that? Go ahead, Josh.
Just continuing of everything that's been said has been right. Actually, every one of those games really would be worth watching. I guess if JMU MSU wasn't sort of stealing the spotlight, but I mean even BGSU, SVSU, I don't know. I think people are sleeping on BG, man. They're the home team. It's not something to do when you've got a full roster. So, I mean, it's a good queue of games for sure.
Yeah, I also think Towson against Kentucky could be an amazing game that could go to overtime.
I agree.
I think both those teams play with a little bit of the same style where they just feed off energy. Maybe one guy makes a clutch catch and then they get really fired up. So that could end up being like one of those games where the whole building gets really loud and you have to turn around and be like, which court is that? It's going to be the Kentucky Towson court. That one will be really exciting to watch. So I'll be running back and forth between games this round for sure.
Well said.
For the JMU MSU, when you guys played them, was it 2 weekends ago? Was that your third game that you played at that tournament, or?
It was late in the day, right, Wes?
I'm sorry, what?
When you guys played JMU at that tournament at Towson, it was like the third game.
It was
of
our
the day for
third
you
match
guys?
today, yeah, right before we played you guys.
Yeah, so both teams were a little bit worn out.
Yeah.
Wes, didn't you guys go down there with like 12 guys too?
We had 14 technically.
Definitely
and
not
one
the
of our
full
guys got
roster.
injured halfway through the JMU.
Right.
So
So
it ended up 13.
that game could go either way. It's hard to
Yeah.
make any claims about a score when you don't have your guys. So
Nah, man, I'm not making excuses. That's the roster we brought up.
not you. I'm just saying it's
No, I know. But
As long as they're Colin plays well for MSU, I think they'll do fairly well against JMU. So
yeah, a lot of people like to think that how he goes, we go. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit less than it used to be in that regard. I think that
I would agree.
there's a couple other guys on that team that people don't give them credit, but they're turning into like very competent throwers. And I think that you'll see that when they play JMU, there's going to be some guys that are just picking people off that maybe you don't recognize, especially teams that aren't in Michigan. I know Lesky and I probably will know who those people are, but other teams are going to be surprised.
It's true.
All right, you guys want to move on to the last round then?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. 7th round of games. There's only 3 matches in this round. Wisconsin-Platteville plays Kent State. That's a rematch from last year. I think the first round of nationals, right, guys?
yep,
Yeah.
that was
Uh,
for us. Yeah.
Sunday, yeah.
Then we had to
No,
go play Grand Valley after that, which wasn't that much fun. So
it didn't go well for you, I don't think.
no, we still got a point on you at least. So
That's true.
we'll take it.
The other two games are Grand Valley against Akron and then Ohio State against VCU. So I think I can speak for myself and Josh and say those two games won't be very close. I think the UWP Kent game is the one that everyone's going to want to watch in that round. So let's start with that one. What do you guys have to say about that game?
Well, from talking to some other captains on teams like Western Kentucky, it sounds like they play a lot like us, where they like to run and gun, kind of throw you off guard a little bit. And if they get a few catches, they're really tough to beat. So we're hoping for a good game. I know they want to beat us this year from last year's game. So.
Yep.
Yeah, we just gotta kind of play our own game. I guess we just gotta keep control and not let them get in our heads. That's pretty much it. We just can't let them take control of us. We gotta take control of them.
Predicted score for that game?
3-2 us.
3-2.
Ooh, that's a good prediction. I like it.
All right.
Uh,
Eric, actually, what's the middle game you guys play that day? I know you
Baldwin
started out with
Wallace.
What's
Our
that?
second game is Baldwin Wallace.
Baldwin. Okay. I was gonna say you guys are getting your
You
fair
guys
share
are
of bio.
hard schedule.
yeah.
Yeah, we're happy with the schedule. So
All
couple
right.
tough opponents. So
Yeah, it should be a great game.
Josh, go ahead and talk. Do you have anything to say about the VCU game? I don't think you've ever played them before. Not
Yeah, not a
mistaken.
whole lot. I don't know anything about VCU, to be honest, so I can't really say either way. I think we're going to win, if you need a straight answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, 3-0, something like that.
Fair enough.
They've been making noise on the East Coast. Am I wrong? Am I off on that? Or
They have. They've won 3 straight games against Maryland, and
Okay.
I don't know. They might have scored a point or something against Towson, but yeah, they've won 3 straight against Maryland, which is unheard of for them.
Definitely.
Yep.
So it'll be a good game. I will win, but yeah,
I think they'll play it tough.
that's fair.
Will they? Does anyone tell me? Do they have a full roster at the East NBC?
VCU, I honestly don't know. Wes, did you guys play them?
VCU?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played them our first match of the day at that tournament, and they had more than a full roster, yeah.
Okay.
And I know Shadid's back for them. He's in grad school, so.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is he
All right. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
I'm just asking if he's any good. I know his name, but is he actually any good?
Yeah, he's not bad. He's in real good shape now, actually.
Okay.
I just sent you guys the standings so you guys can look at that since we're going to be talking about more predictions and maybe possible seedings here in a minute. But does anyone have any last comments on Saturday's schedule, Saturday as a whole for Nationals?
As we talked about it earlier, those 3 big premier matchups, we really think young teams should really check them out for the
Yep.
sake of the team.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Saturday's matches go and see how it affects the seeding for Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's cool to have the big games like that on Saturday. Kind of see a preview how they might go on Sunday. So
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree with that. In the past, when it was like pool play, and there was just pools of 4 teams each, Grand Valley, we would just be paired with 3 teams that we clearly were better than, so it wasn't really anything exciting. There wasn't many exciting games at all on Saturday, where now with the new way that they've set up Saturday scheduling, there's potential for a lot of different games going to overtime, a lot of different exciting games. So it's going to be a lot more fun on Saturday of Nationals this year than maybe a couple years ago when they didn't have this type of format. All right, do you guys want to go on to predictions for Sunday then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good. All right, I guess let's start. Let's go around. Each person can name maybe their dark horse team, or maybe a team that you think could potentially get an upset on day 2 of nationals when we have the team seeded 1 through 18 total. So there's like 2 playing games. Yeah. All right.
Yep,
So what?
games.
That works. Wes, go ahead. You can go first. Who do you think might be that
Dark
team?
horse team.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on who they get placed against in the second round, but I think Towson has a really good shot of making it maybe through to the Final Four.
Hey,
No one would really expect.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold prediction.
I mean,
They made it to the quarterfinals last year, but then they played JMU.
yeah, like I said, it depends on who they play against in the second round.
Yeah. That works. What about you guys? UWP.
I think Saginaw Valley. The way they played at Michigan Cup, if they play like that again, they're going to be tough to beat again at nationals. So I'd say Saginaw for the Final Four. So
Nice. Matt, what about you?
I'm not quite exactly sure. I was thinking Saginaw Valley too, but if not, maybe CMU. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, a couple of those teams would be in there for sure.
I doubt Grand Valley's going to get in. So they're a terrible team. So
I hope not. I hope not. Josh, go ahead. What about you?
Gosh, it's tough to say right now. It depends on who gets matched up in the earlier seeding on Sunday. I mean, heck, if UWP beats BW and pulls a win off against Kent, gets a nice seed. I mean, who's to say how far you guys are going to go, man? I'm excited to really watch you guys sort of progress on Sunday. I don't know if this is bold. I don't think JMU will be in it. I do not think they will. So,
wow.
In the
It's a
Final
big
Four.
prediction.
Well, nothing against JMU. I think there's so many other powers here: EVSU, MSU, OSU, CMU. That Final Four spot is going to be tough when you've lost your Gromer, your Seasmore, a lot of your power throwers. So, I mean, I've been wrong in the past, but you needed a bold prediction. You got one. So.
Yeah. And while we're on the topic, if the seeding stays the way that it is, JMU will be the 4 seed, Ohio State will be the 5 seed, and you guys will be matched up in a quarterfinal game after your first round. So
That's where the bold prediction's coming from.
yeah, it'll be you guys against them for a Final Four spot.
That's fun. All right.
So you'll get to defend your own prediction there. Jake, do you have any
So any what?
dark horse team? What we've been talking about for the last 2 minutes?
Oh, sorry. No, yeah. I'm with UWP. I'm with Saginaw. I think Saginaw will. I have no doubt they'll make the Final Four. No doubt.
Nice.
Yeah, my bold prediction is all Michigan Final Four.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen, but all right. Fine.
It's gonna be.
You got a little bit standing in your way.
Yeah, it's.
Of that, but
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm predicting 3 Michigan teams and then one non-Michigan team. I was gonna just have Ohio State be my bold prediction, but I guess it's not that bold that they make it to the Final Four. So
it's not bold.
let me go with Towson, I guess, as well. I think that they might win 2 games and upset a team again, because after watching them at their tournament that they hosted, they have a lot of guys that are good catchers and they just play smart as a team. They got good leadership. So,
Kevin, you know that means that they, as the standings are, that means they would upset you.
I think they're going to move up to the 7th seed, though.
Oh, then upset us. Got it.
Yeah. Otherwise, Towson is going to be going home after round 1 or round 2, I guess.
Okay. Not if they play us, though.
I think they're going to move up to the 7th seed in the standings beforehand. I don't know who showed me like a statistic that predicted that, but we'll go with that.
They have to win their 2. They need Kent to lose 2. So.
Yeah.
honestly, 2 Michigan teams get in and 2 teams from other regions, I think.
Wow.
So there's a bold prediction for you.
Yeah, that's actually the next thing we're going to be talking about is our Final Four predictions. So we'll start with you guys. Who do you think You get to name 4 teams, all 4.
I
Four
think
teams.
Grand Valley, Saginaw. Let's see, James Madison, and then Townsend.
Wow.
We said 2, so
Wow.
I like it.
going bold. So.
Picked the wrong Michigan teams, man. What the heck?
I think I silenced them.
No, I just want to see you lose now.
Yeah, everything nice we said earlier.
Josh, go for it.
Grand Valley. I've got Ohio State. I've got MSU, definitely. And Lesky, you're here, CMU.
I don't know where that's good with me. I don't know why that's good with me.
Yeah,
It's good side, don't you?
right in front of me. I don't know. It's easy to. I mean, it'd be either them or JMU. So I'll give it to you guys because you beat them last year. So,
All right.
He's a crowd pleaser.
well, yeah.
I'll go with mine. I mean, I'm going to go based off what I see. If I had to go off what I see now, I would go Michigan State, Central, JMU, and Grand Valley.
Okay.
Yep. Same. No, not same as last year. Sorry. I would do Saginaw, but I really think the loss at Doug Putnam's really going to hurt us.
They played a lot of games this year. I know that was sort of something they struggled with last year was getting tournaments. I don't know how many they've gone to this year.
Saginaw played 21 games this year,
21. Okay,
so pretty good actually.
that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Josh, I want to do you guys, but I haven't even seen you guys on film. I've had the pleasure of watching JMU a few times, so and playing against them a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna be actually pretty boring and copy exactly what Lesky said and say State, Central, Grand Valley, and James Madison. No offense again, Josh. I've seen JMU play this year. I haven't seen you guys since
Right. We're keeping our talent hidden,
over.
keeping it under wraps.
Hey, there you go. You might make me and Lesky wrong. So
I think the championship would be a rematch of last year.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I was going to have each of you say the 2 championship teams and who wins. So go ahead, go back and do that.
Jeez.
Yeah, sorry.
I
Oh,
bet you
it's
did.
Grand Valley. Ohio State wins. Next.
wait, what'd you say?
OSU, Grand Valley, Ohio State. Big Six title.
Go ahead, guys.
Jake?
Title Central versus Grand Valley. We win in OT.
So 2-1.
You won OT. Yeah, thank you.
You two, go ahead.
Okay, we think Grand Valley, Saginaw, and then Grand Valley will win.
Wow. It's not bad.
Wes, what did you say?
All right, I'm gonna say Michigan State, Grand Valley. Michigan State wins 3-1.
3-1.
Wow.
Jeez. You know when the last time someone scored 3 points on Grand Valley was?
It's been a long time.
Like 2010. Anyway.
And I can tell you the last time a team shut out Grand Valley.
Yeah. Absolutely, the first game of the year. I haven't done mine yet, though. I'm going with Grand Valley, Ohio State beating JMU barely. I think JMU is going to kind of be hurt by the fact that they haven't played many games this year, and it's going to come back and haunt them, and Ohio State will upset them. And then on the other side, Central Michigan and Michigan State barely beating out Saginaw in that quarterfinal game, because I think right now it's set up where it'll be Saginaw against Michigan State. Yeah. So I'll go with Michigan State barely winning that one. And then my finals will be Central Michigan against Grand Valley, with Grand Valley winning 3-0.
Oh, be real now. Come on. Hope it's not a real score.
So 4-0, would that be more real?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, I said that last year. It didn't work.
No. You really think that's really your prediction? 3-0.
I have faith in my squad.
Our
What did
last
you
game was
expect me to say?
1-0. I don't think we know how to score that many points. Either of us can get that many points. But all right.
All right, let me take 2-0.
Okay.
Just kidding. 10-0 Grand Valley.
That's
All
fair.
right.
Just call us Eastern Michigan.
All right, let's play the championship game with clean blocking.
That'd be awesome.
I'd love it.
My version, though, not Dylan's.
So yeah, I guess what do you guys want to talk about next? We went through everything that we had on the list. I don't know. It's up to you guys.
We can talk about let's talk about the ladies match a little bit.
One second.
All right, go ahead, Jake.
Well, I unfortunately have missed it. This will be my last national, my fourth and final nationals, and I have yet to see a ladies match. I've always either missed it or I was late, or I left early because I was bitter because my team lost. But I'm looking forward to watching this year. I am. I think it's great that our league supports that and that they have their own event, and they deserve it. And I think everyone should take the time to watch it. They take time to watch us.
Absolutely. Well said.
Is that the first or second game on Saturday?
It's the very first event, as it should be.
Yep.
Yep.
Ladies first.
It was fun to watch last year. I'll admit that. It was exciting, and like the entire league was there. There wasn't any other games going on, so it got pretty loud when something exciting happened. It was fun to watch.
I swear there were like 3 headshots last year. It was the greatest thing in the world.
No
Yeah,
way!
Yeah, they were. They were like dome shots, man. These girls were whipping the ball. Like I'm excited to see. I mean, they take it just seriously. It's not, there's no divide in gender here. It's a fun sport, so
Yep.
we all have fun with it.
No doubt.
Cool to see them be able to show what they're made of. So
Sure.
definitely when they're playing in regular games, they don't always get to show what they can do. So
All right, cool. Do you guys want to talk about rule proposals? I know Wes did. I don't want to. But
Oh yeah. I'd like
We'll
to talk
go.
about mine real quick.
we're gonna go about 10 minutes more, and then we're gonna end the podcast with that. So go ahead.
My rule proposal is that a proposal has to be submitted a week before nationals. There's only one proposal per team. That is my proposal.
I don't know about the one proposal per team. What if
One
it's a bunch?
proposal per team. It's getting out of control.
Yeah, but what if it's a team that's got like smart people like Grand Valley? We can
Talk
have
to a dumber
I
multiple.
want to put you as smart people. So
What you need to do in that case, talk to a dumber team.
All right. Last game, I'm talking to you.
I'm sick of getting 30 notifications on my phone.
Absolutely.
Oh, I have another proposal. There
I
you
think
go.
you can speak for everyone in that Facebook group when you say that, no doubt.
It's obnoxious.
Wes, go ahead, say something that we're not going to want to hear, but go ahead.
Hey, Cassius should bring in 2 players. No. Seriously, though. Let's talk about the clean blocking rule a little bit.
Yeah. All right, so for everyone watching or listening or whatever, what he means is the rule proposal is that if you have a ball in your hand and you're blocking, you no longer are allowed to let that ball skim, like the thrown ball, skim off the ball that you're blocking with and hit you in any way. Basically, the ball is still live off your block. But I think the difference that Wes was talking about is if you block that ball into your teammate, are they out for that or not?
They're not out. No.
They're not out.
The only player that can get out is the first person who blocked the ball initially.
Yeah. And also, if you block the ball and your teammate catches it, what does that count as?
It would be a team catch, but also the joke proposal I made about the catching thing, I think we should, if my rule passes, we should eliminate team catches bringing in a player. I think it should just, keep the guy that got hit safe.
Let's stick with the first rule for now, though. Don't confuse people anymore.
Fine.
All right, so why do you think that should become a rule? And I'm going to agree with you because I think it should be a rule. But what are the pros and cons of it, I guess?
All right, well, pros is it speeds up the game tremendously, and not in the sense that like people are going to fly up and down the court all of a sudden at 100 miles an hour, but like that people are going to be able to get outs a lot easier. Like people like Kevin Bailey, if he's holding a ball, you might actually be able to hit him.
He's got a weak arm though, so.
I agree.
True. But yeah, I mean that's the main big point.
Yeah.
And cons is you're no longer able to skim the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, in all other dodgeball leagues, isn't it the rule that even if it hits off the ball, you can't let it hit you, which makes sense. That's kind of what dodgeball is. So I think that it's definitely a necessary rule. And also, one thing you didn't mention is that it makes reffing the game a little bit more simple.
Yep.
There's not going to be as many arguments because people are going to be saying, "Oh, it just skimmed off the ball. Didn't you hear it hit the ball?" You can't say that. If it hits you, you're out. You know you're out. There's no gray area there. But yeah, I definitely think that it'll help. It'll make offensive game like a little bit more exciting because people can get more hits like more frequently. So it'll help.
Would you still be able to,
being higher? So
would you still be able to catch the ball after it skims off of you?
yeah. So like you know how if it hits you as you're blocking and you catch it, that's a
That would
catch.
be a straight up catch. So the person that threw it is out, even if you trap it with the ball. So that would be another change to it. But in all other formats of dodgeball that I've ever played in, Elite Dodgeball, Ultimate Dodgeball, which is a Sky Zone one, all of those have that as the rule where if you like trap it with the ball, it's a catch. And I know that us in the NCDA, we aren't used to it, and I know this was a rule that was proposed last year, and it didn't pass, I think, by a couple votes. Yeah, so it was actually a lot. But I think it's just because people are scared of change, but it's definitely something that'll help. It's something that'll make the league better, so I hope everyone does actually understand what the rule is meant for and understand that it's going to help the league.
Yeah.
We'll go like 5 more minutes. Anyone else have like a rule proposal you want to talk about, or just a proposal for changing, the NCDA at all? I know there was some that was about like the ranking systems and stuff too.
I don't know. The 3-foot rule with the throwing, I think that would be very helpful in increasing the pace of the games. Because a lot of the games you see, a lot of teams, they throw one ball and it's kind of just in the area, so it's far enough away from being a catch so they don't get out. So it kind of just stalls the game until someone makes a mistake. So I think that would be a good idea to have the range for throws count to be closer. So you have to actually go for
I
something.
think that will definitely have the desired effect, but I also think the negative side of it, I think you're going to see a lot more balls over, at least initially at like the beginning of the year. So it's going to actually slow games down a lot more, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that obviously we all want there to be less of the stall ball throws and like all those antics where people are throwing it where it's not even close to hitting someone. So I think that style of play needs to be changed in some way. I don't know if that's the rule to do it because there's always going to be a time when someone is attempting to hit someone and they miss by a couple feet, and it could end up being a balls over when maybe it shouldn't be because it's still somewhere where if they did dive forward they could catch it. That shouldn't be ruled a balls over in my opinion. So that's why I don't like that one personally, but I think that there's other ways that we can take away the stall ball style of play that's kind of plagued the league, especially like the top level games. And yeah, I'll talk about the one that I propose. Wes, I know you have some thoughts on this too, but I think that the throw line should be a little bit closer. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. I think that it should be, right now it's 30 feet. I think it should move up at least a few feet. I've played in leagues where it's 20 feet, and I've played in leagues where it's 25 feet with pinch throwing. But I think it should be maybe like 27 or 28 feet. Wes, I know you thought the same thing.
Yeah.
And the main reason is that'll speed up games. It'll make hitting like outs more frequent, and like games will be 4-3 instead of like 2-1 or 1-0. So it'll just speed up the game. It'll make more incentive to actually throw to hit someone, because if you're just throwing to reset the shot clock, that doesn't help you at all because you're giving them a ball, giving them a chance to just take you out. When the throw line is closer, you're like more likely to get hit instead of just dodge or catch and stall the game if you have like a 1-0 lead. That's not gonna work as often. So.
Yeah, and a point to that where I don't know if anyone's mentioned it yet. By moving the throw line closer to the back line and making the neutral zone bigger, you're going to have teams countering a lot easier because they'll have just shorter distance to go to run down the people that are throwing at them when they're on the back line.
Yeah, exactly.
It should create for a more exciting game.
Absolutely.
Unless you're just trying to throw the ball off the wall, which some teams love to do.
Yeah. But, I mean, with it being closer, I think there's more incentive to actually hit people because hits are going to be happening more often. So you throwing to just reset, maybe trying to throw in to bounce off the wall, it's not going to help you as much as actually trying to hit people. Hopefully that's what the effect will be. But other than Wes and I, does anyone have any thoughts on that one?
No, other than 28 would feel like a better number than 25 you first proposed. So.
Sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, that's fine with me too. Any bit closer is a step in the right direction, I think, because it is 30 feet's a little bit too far away, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It'll be something to get used to, obviously, but it'll ultimately help in the future, I think.
Hey, the farther away, the better for me. I love it.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule too. Yet it would make teams a little bit more aggressive, I would think, because you'd have to try to fight for that neutral zone territory just so you could get on that offensive. So your back wouldn't be against the wall. So like, it's a worse spot to be in defense under that rule.
Yep.
So it's more of an incentive to sort of fight for that ground. You know what I mean? And I think that would kind of speed up the game too. So yeah, I like it. Would the shot clock stay the same? Would it be a 10-second or still 15?
I don't like the idea of changing it to 10 seconds. I think some people have mentioned that, but I think that that'd be too quick. And in turn, if it's 10-second shot clock the whole time, you're gonna see too many throws where people are just like panicking, trying to throw on to reset it instead of making throws that they're legitimately 100% trying to get an out with instead of trying to reset. So I say keep the shot clock the way it is. I like the way that rule is.
I think the shot clock rule and the LAZ rule are two counterproductive rule changes that would definitely have opposite effects that they would be intending to.
Yeah. There's some unintentional consequences of that. But while we're like kind of on the subject, I know Dylan Fettig, who's the captain for Grand Valley, has mentioned some type of rule where it's based on like whichever team has more dodgeballs on their side has to throw, sort of like a burden rule, which is what other leagues do, such as Elite. So basically what that does is it eliminates the whole idea of keeping ball advantage for the entire time. And it's kind of effective in other leagues, but it'll be interesting to see if that would work with 10 dodgeballs. So basically whichever team has more has to throw, and if both teams have 5, there's usually one dodgeball that's a different color.
Well,
that one counts as the burden. But what's up?
I know when he was talking to me, I don't know if he wanted this to become public knowledge yet, but he was talking about dropping the ball count to 9, so we wouldn't have to do like a burden thing, and it would just be clear whichever side has more balls.
That'd be.
I think that would work better for our court size and numbers.
I'm not saying that I'm totally on board with that, but it's an interesting idea to think about because, like, one thought process is that, with it being 5 balls and 4 balls, one team will just throw one and then the other team will throw one back. So that's one thought process, but another one, and this is the one Dylan would argue, is that you're going to get those dodgeballs back, so a team's going to go up and they're going to set up a team throw and throw 3 or 4 balls because they know that when the other team comes back down the court, they have to release, enough dodgeballs where they take the burden away from their team and they're down to like 4. So that would make it more, more attempted throws to actually hit people and more throws happening instead of just stall ball, I guess. So that's another interesting rule. I'm not sure if I like it or not yet, but
I think it's definitely something we should try out.
Yeah. All right, well, we're about out of time, I think. Let's just go through and do some final thoughts, what you guys want to say about Nationals, maybe one last prediction, one last statement, and then we'll sign off. I guess it's been a little bit over an hour since we started. So, Jake, let's start with you, if you're awake still.
I'm awake. All right, Kobe's farewell ceremony started halfway through this, so it's been tough.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch the end of that. So.
I'm really thinking this is going to be. I'm really excited for this Nationals. I mean, as always, 18 teams. I mean, it might be the largest we've ever had. We're tied for it. So, this is the closest 6 teams have ever come to each other. So I expect madness to be like March Madness. I expect a lot of crazy crap to happen. So.
Yeah, and Jake, it's your last Nationals too, right?
The last one. Same with you.
Yeah. Same with you, right, Josh?
Yep, that's right.
Yep, there's a lot of big games going out this year.
Lucky me.
Yep. Shout out to Central. They're losing 2 guys this year. 2 guys.
They don't graduate them over there. They don't.
No, it's
No, you think the second.
Josh, what about you? Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. Like I said, it's my last national, so it's kind of tough. I've been in this for 4 years now. It's been honestly the best 4 years of my life. This is a sport. For any folks listening, I mean, keep at it. If you're on the younger end of things, you're freshman, sophomore, stay with it. It's fun. Make friends. Play dodgeball. I think there's gonna be a lot of upsets. So I'm just looking for a good tournament and go Bucks.
Eric and Matt, what about you guys?
This year, for me, anyways, I look at nationals. I think there's a lot more good teams out there. There's gonna be a lot more, actually, some decent games this year than previous years. As upsets go, I think we're gonna get upset on OSU, so that should be good fun there. Yeah. So.
Those are some bold words.
All right, I don't know. I'm pretty excited for this year's Nationals. Like, I just kind of like sit around during the day and I think about it, like this is my last year going to it. I just kind of get like the chills of actually getting to play one more time to hopefully see how far we can go. I know we got a new team, but I guess we're gonna see how far we can go.
Sounds good. Wes?
Well, luckily for me, I have 1 more year after this, so I can't say my final goodbyes yet. Can't get rid of me. But yeah, hopefully it's the best Nationals yet.
For sure.
And MSU wins.
I would disagree with that last part, but yeah, I think that this one will be the best Nationals yet. 18 teams is exciting. It shows that the league is going in the right direction with more teams traveling out to Nationals, and it's only going to improve. It'll be cool to look back in 20 years and think about how we were, part of the league when it was just starting up and just starting to grow and pick up momentum. So I'm excited as well. It's going to be my last Nationals too, unless I end up failing all these classes that I'm not studying for right now.
Please don't.
There's a possibility then.
So
You'll be back.
I'm not ruling it out yet. I'm not ruling it out. Hopefully my mom's not one of the few. I'll never go to Michigan State. I have more dignity than that. But yeah, I'm excited. I think Nationals going to be exciting. I think there's going to be a lot of upsets. There were some upsets last year. I think it's just going to grow this year with just how talented those bottom level teams are becoming. So I'm really excited. I guess that'll be it though. So with that, thank you to anyone who watched this. I'm Kevin Bailey, captain for Grand Valley State.
Jacob Lasky, Central Michigan.
Josh Connor, Ohio State.
Wes Peters, Michigan State. That's it.
Alex Platteville.
Eric Zander from UWP.
And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you all at Nationals.